morning, everyone. Day 4 of HR Week has started more than well, and I hope you enjoyed previous sessions about HR development. And now it is time for a case study on true workforce dexterity and changing roles within the company. Today with us is a professional who has great experience in business development, consulting, training, and mentoring, and his professional achievements are recognized by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, the Chartered Management Institute, and the Institute of Consulting. It is my honor to welcome Edin Veljović from AMS.
Thank you, Rita, for such a kind words. No pressure on me, Doha. Okay, hello to our dear guests and people who are following this session. Thank you for giving me the stage and welcoming AMS for the first time in this wonderful event. I must interrupt at the beginning my presentation and say how grateful all of my team is, and that we are all over the moon since Monday, been following really great speakers and learning a lot alongside. So thank you one more time, and I wish you all the best until Friday. I know it's a hard work, but according to our respondents here, we are thrilled. Keep up with the good work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting HR Week. We're really looking forward to hear your presentation, and I will be back later.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ružica. So after such an intro from Ružica's side, I won't come back losing your time speaking about myself, but I'll refer to some of my experience in which is related to the topic that I'm going to present with you. So I'll start off not by representing the company and what we do in the long run, because we have our stand, we have our people, so you can go and visit there. While I want just to give an overview of what we do actually at AMS is because we basically are in people business. And we preach what we teach, or we walk the talk. So in that sense, predominantly what I would like to share with you is some good practice or case study that I believe can be implemented shortly within your respective companies or teams. It doesn't require much. I know it's a bit of change management included in it, but if there is a will, there is a way. And I'm just not saying that just as a phrase or a corporate BS. I strongly believe that if you want to implement something where your people, your employees, your greatest assets will better off, I hope that this presentation can help with it along with the others. So let me just spare a couple of minutes just saying what we actually do and what will this presentation, case study, will be around. We are in a workforce solution company, industry, and we are founding relatively let's say that we are new on the market and we are newcomers on Serbian market. But what we actually do is we pay attention to our clients in talent attraction and acquisition, contingent workforce management, internal mobility, and skills development, which I'll come back and refer to the first and the third point. And also employee branding and recruitment marketing. Why I say so? Because there is a vast majority of clients, and you can see that we cover majority of big industries such as consumer, digital technology, engineering, industrials, government, investment banking, pharmaceuticals, professional services, retailing, banking, and insurance. I'll come back to that because working in such different sectors or areas has equipped us with the knowledge and insights how everything operates in different sector. However, I'll come back to one of my first statements that we are in people business. Everything is about people. And yes, we are at the moment of the great shift. This shift is caused by several factors, and I'm convinced that every single person here or outside of this HR week, at least per day, shares several congrats on LinkedIn for some people who are changing their roles, which is an indicator what is happening on the market. I won't go to that because some of my previous speakers have been talking about that. However, despite the fact that I've been long in the business, this crisis, obviously every crisis is the biggest one, but this crisis has several factors that contributes to some of the outcomes that results in these changing roles. First, there is an inflation. Secondly, we are living in a post-pandemic society that changed the way how we work. Some of industries being hit, some of industries have been recurring. And thirdly, there is also this unfortunately war that is very close to us, which also impacts the economic scale. What we noticed actually is that people have been changing jobs and roles like I never witnessed before. I come back to one of these statements that every day on LinkedIn, at least one or two of your contacts have changed jobs. Why I'm implying on this? Because once when you join AMS, and I'll repeat it constantly, we are in people business. We have to deliver the best, that talent acquisition, sourcing, business intelligence, even if you want recruitment, etc., to the client services. In order to do so, we have to take care about our own employees. When I joined AMS, something was, and I'll come back to my consulting experience, something struck me. I noticed a long lifespan of careers of majority of employees there. That was one indicator for me. I was looking further and I was exploring why is that happening. It could be good and a bad sign. I was looking for a good sign, so I double checked it. So I saw there is another indicator. It's a number of boomerangs, i.e. people who are coming back to AMS when they start when they change their career outside of AMS. 2 weeks ago, I had a brilliant conversation with a colleague from Poland who is believe it or not, 3 times boomerang. So, given that I belong to the generation X, and we have Ys, millennials, and now we have Z, for a generation like mine, it was somehow unbelievable that you can change your roles every year or every year and a half or something like that. Something would raise red flag. This guy belongs to my generation. So ask him, why did you leave for the 3rd time and came back for the 3rd time? He said, there was something that I couldn't live without. It's sense of belongingness, loyalty, and trust that I find at AMS. So that's the reason why I'll put all this presentation around how we keep and attract our own people to stay with us for a longer time, even if they leave for a couple of months or a year. Why is career at AMS such a fun? We have something that also you can read here. It says, bring it. We want and we attract talents, obviously, because we are TA company, and we want the best that our employees can bring to AMS. However, we want to go further. We want to retain that. So in that sense, every career at AMS starts like this. You see an advert, or our TAs or sources or other team members found you, or you just apply and you've been approached, and luckily, if you're lucky and you have a skill set, that's an attitude actually that matches our adverts, you are on board. However, that is when you're faced with something that I'll show on the next slide. The first words that you hear in EMS is a change. At the first, you know it's a good company. However, since day one, and even during onboarding, you've been exposed to, you can change. If you don't like your scope of work, you can change for some other role. If you don't like this client, or if you're stuck with the client, there is maybe another assignment that you can go. Also, your role is not fixed. You could have, if you want, additional responsibilities if you like. Also, there is a notion to going to other countries. Yeah, some of this sounds familiar, and it's not rocket science. I've seen that in many companies. However, why is this different? Is because there is a question that you are asked at the very beginning. Who drives your career at AMS? I would like to broaden this. This is a question for all of you. Who drives actually your career? I've seen a number of times during my mentoring or consultancy or training career, or as a manager, leader, whatever you call it, that people expect some other people, their bosses, or the superiors, to drive their careers. Yes, that would be nice. That's maybe our perception, but at AMS, you are one responsible for your own career. So this is where the change comes in. So at AMS, you drive your own career. However, this is not a fairy tale. This is business. So there is a readiness for a role, an opportunity that you can spot within AMS. Usually there is a gap. All of us believe, and we live in our own world of perception, and we inhabit this world where we are either skillful, or that we need that promotion, or we deserve that promotion, and that we need to be picked up from the system. However, I believe this should be matched to reality. Sometimes there is opportunity for you, sometimes there isn't. However, if you see opportunity and you are not still ready for it, there something that you can do on the both sides of this equation, readiness versus opportunity. So what I advise, and what's advised in AMS, is first to identify your career goals, then to invest in continuous development. Also, on regular basis, we have something that's called AMS Career Expo, drop-in calls. We have online calls where you can meet colleagues from other lines of services and learn as much as you can about what is out there, outside of your work scope, outside of your mindset, something that could spark your career in other direction. One of the key words here is networking, and you will see it on the other side of the equation. The more people you are exposed to, the more your strategic network within AMS is in the place, the more you invest in it, the more will come out of it. So I'll strongly suggest networking within your respective companies. And of course, I see it's emerging trend. In some companies, there is a coaching. In other companies, it's not so coaching. However, there is a strong mentoring program in AMS. So, in order to provide our employees with opportunity and to retain our talent, we have something that's called AMS Talent Mobility Team. Also, within that talent mobility team, there is talent mobility consultant, also AMS Career Spotlight, and networking again. I'll come to this team. This is a very important team for our employees. And I believe that it's very easy to have and to found some of these teams within your companies. So as I told, 3 main tools is support of AMS talent mobility if you want to change your role, mentoring within AMS, i.e. finding the proper mentor, the mentor who will guide you and advance your career. And I cannot stress this enough, networking. Networking is like a great tool even from outside of the AMS. However, I'm talking about internal networking with your colleagues from other offices, from other regions, etc. So what talent mobility actually is doing? They are ensuring that our employees are prioritized over external candidates. I would like to stop here, and some of this you can read. I'm not going to elaborate more on this. However, we rather look for talents within AMS, providing opportunities. So on regular basis, when there is an opportunity for a changing role, all of us receive an email for positions that be internally advertised. Why we do this? I'll come back to several times already repeated. We are in people business. We want our people to be happy because we want them to be engaged. We want them to provide great professional services to other people. Speaking of talent mobility activities and talent mobility team, there are 2 types. So first one is one that I was talking about. It was proactive, when you approach to TM consultant and then you are eventually ended up on talent mobility list and they provide you with opportunities. However, you have to be ready for this. And also, it's a process. You have to trust the process. In voluntary, given that we are assignment-based company, some of the contracts, some of the projects have their end, they're time-bound. So some people might feel that they've been left out. We want to prevent that. And we've been preventing that by also having this talent mobility team where these involuntary employees are offered for a change to shift their roles within the company. This is something that I'm a great believer in, because this is not something that we threaten our people. Your project is over and your client will go or whatsoever, so you're jobless or whatsoever. No, this is something that we present and we strongly believe, and I come back again to the trust point, that this is opportunity to grow. And I take this really seriously, because there is a lot of people involved in this process alongside with the talent mobility team, HR, hiring managers, talent acquisition, etc., etc. And finally, I'll try to stop here, because I just want to explain more if you're interested in introducing your talent mobility team, that this team has to facilitate. It is not some team, some with magical wand who will find you right job and who will take care after your career. No, they are internal consultants. You are our talent. Your career at AMS is, I come back to that again, it's yours to grow. So ask for help. Ask through your network for opportunities. Come to these guys. These guys want, and their aim is to be neutral, because they don't have to be biased, because there has to be a notion of trust to them. Some of employees might feel impatient because they think they deserve this promotion, or there is another contract waiting to be signed in, etc., etc. Patience is also the key, and to trust the process. Final word on this, and you can read it on presentation. I'm not going to talk more about it. Is what if you want to change your career and you approach to talent mobility team and your manager is not happy with that? I.e., you feel that you've been stuck or trapped in your current role. Well, once when you approach team and whatever comes to that team, I'll stress again the notion of trust. This is confidential. I'll repeat it, your manager cannot stop you for chasing another career within AMS. Of course, this goes for people who are marked as meet the expectations and above. For underperformance, well, there are exceptions, but the rule is for underperformance, there is no such a thing. So thank you for listening to my speech. I'm sorry that in this format there was no more interaction. However, I'm so glad and happy that I could share with you guys these insights from AMS. I'm ready to listen to your questions.
Hello, Edin. I'm back with a question. First of all, I would like to mention that this was a great presentation. I would like to point once again what you said, that changing career is a common thing we witness nowadays, but the change can be found within our company where we already have a sense of belonging and loyalty and trust. And the question from the audience refers to what you said, who drives your career? And in your example, AMS first inform internally employees about new open position. So from your experience in changing roles within a company, what is it challenging because employees don't ask for it, or the companies do not allow it?
The first one, but let's use Pareto rule here. There is no like statistics on this, but given that I belong to management, I can for certain say this. People are sometimes afraid to move out of their current role because they are either they're not sure are they fulfilling this advertised role, or they are afraid of their managers. So in that sense, I tell you, you are driver of your own career. It's your job to take care of your career. I don't put complete responsibility toward you that you've been left alone. Just, I want this promotion, and if you don't give me, it's over. No, it's a process. You are seeking opportunities. You have tools. You have mentor. You have this talent mobility team. So those guys are here to support you on your journey, but you have to know what you want. Sometimes you won't know what you want because maybe you're stuck. Also, some kind of internal consultancy, networking that I've been mentioning a couple of times, and mentoring could help you unstuck.
We actually do have we have one more question. Your advice to management and how to encourage people to change jobs within the company rather than the company itself.
Exactly, because spending all my career in consultancy and in multinational and being part of some local or SMEs initiatives, etc., as a consultant, this is something that I underline all the time. Companies, organizations, resolve symptoms rather than the roots, or because it's easier, it's effective to cure something that is symptom rather than is a problem. For a problem, you need to dig deeper. So encourage managers to be their own consultants within their own teams. It's easy. Just look what is causing turnover, what is causing your people to be unhappy. Engage your people. We have a great program of people engagement. Member of my teams been engaged in some CSR activities, in some people engagement stuff. Other are connected to universities. So find what motivates your people and make them really happy and motivated. This is bring it. Bring yourself, and manager's job is to provide you with the tools and to play on it.
We have someone saying, unfortunately, ego is normally holding people changing roles within organization. And we have one more question. If somebody is a good, hardworking employee but didn't have results in the previous position, would you still support him in changing roles within AMS?
Yes, yes. It's and I don't say that because I'm selling roles within AMS. I say this because you don't know what was behind that. So of course it's a business. This is not a charity. However, we tried to see what was happening. Maybe it was a shortened contract with a client. Maybe client said, basta, we don't work, or maybe client bankruptcy. I don't know what happened. Maybe this employee was not in the right environment. So yes, I encourage strongly people to explain what is behind. And this is tracked. This is a process. I mean, I'll come back again to this notion of consultancy. Why is someone behaving in a certain way? All of us want to show our best side at our work.
I would say this was a great answer and a great case study, and that AMS really has a great experience, and what you just shared, others should look up to. That's all I have to add. Thank
you, Veljović. I'm really thrilled by your words. I'm sure that if this case study can help at least one out of 4,000 or 5,000 people out there, I'm not there, not at the moment, but who will probably watch some of these, I'll be thrilled. So, guys, just bring it. It's up to you. Thank you for your time. Thank you once again for supporting HR Week and for a great case study and presentation. I would just like to add that AMS has booth in HR Expo Zone on the platform that you can visit the booth, find out more about them, see the special offer, book a meeting. And yes. Thank you, Edin, once again. Thank you. I just invite, and I'll stop here. I don't want to hack it in the next session. I invite guys out there to go to the stand, because ladies from our HR and from our TA will deliver a workshop on how to apply for jobs, how to behave in interviews, etc., etc. So we are looking forward to have you guys there. It's almost unlimited number of people who can come to our office and attend this workshop. Once when we have a group, we'll organize some for you, and hopefully we'll support you in that way. Ružica, thank you. Thank you, HR Week, for this extraordinary event. This was week, the best week this year. Thank you for those kind words. And for everyone watching, coming up next, we have 2 great panels about HR revolution, and go find out what HR needs to start doing. Have a great rest of the day, and goodbye.